Racing is a universal language. Every racer understands the growl of an engine, the sensation of speed, and the thrill of victory. Pero en mi país, los pilotos entienden esto un poco más. El movimiento del volante es un arte, como un baile, the roar of the pack, electrifying, like music. The colors of the cars, bright, like the future of Mexico's rising stars. Estos pilotos saben mucho más que ganar y perder. They know Mexico is racing. El automovilismo es México. This country's rich heritage will add another layer in 2025. The NASCAR Cup Series is coming to Mexico for the very first time. Velocidad, cultura, historia, todo se fusionará en el corazón de la Ciudad de México. The future lies ahead, driving us forward together. And to get where we're going, we must go where we have never been.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Suarez. So, this announcement is a historic one. It will be that the NASCAR Cup Series will be racing for the first time outside the United States for points in a modern era, and that'll be in Mexico in 2025. NASCAR officials made the announcement back in August. The historic race is scheduled to be run on Sunday, June 15th, at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, which is the country's capital. The Xfinity Series race will be held the day before. The Cup Series race will be shown live on Amazon Prime Video, and Xfinity Series race will be live on the CW. Here's Ben Kennedy, who's NASCAR's Executive Vice President, Chief Engine and Racing Innovation Officer, talking about the Cup Series going to Mexico and more. This has been on our radar for a long time, said Kennedy. We've been talking about the continued iteration of our schedule, right? You can go back a few years, went to new markets like Nashville and Austin, Texas. We went to the Coliseum for the Clash. We went to our first street race in downtown Chicago. And this is going to be another first for us in a lot of ways. This is going to be certainly a monumental event for us. The first time we're going south of the border. Even though this will be the first time the Cup Series will be racing in Mexico, NASCAR is no stranger to racing there. The Hermanos Rodriguez track hosted 4 races in the Xfinity Series from 2005 to 2008, when it was the Busch Series, and later the Nationwide Series. 4 Cup Series drivers have wanted the track, which include Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Juan Pablo Montoya. NASCAR has also sanctioned the NASCAR Mexico Series since 2004, when that series first started, and the season finale for 2024 was held at the Hermanos Rodriguez course on November 2nd. Mexican-born Cup Series driver Daniel Suarez, who won the season opening clash at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, came up on the Mexico Series also. Here's Suarez talking about the Cup Series coming to Mexico back at the announcement in August. This for me is like a dream, Suarez said. This is really a dream come true. Exactly 10 years ago, I was here racing NASCAR Mexico in 2014, and I won a race here before leaving NASCAR Mexico and moving full-time to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2015. And I knew that some years before my time, the NASCAR Xfinity Series had the opportunity to come to Mexico for a few years. And I remember thinking what a dream it would be for me to race the NASCAR Cup Series one day in my country. I remember thinking that, and fast forward now 9 years later, and here we are in Mexico City. Kennedy said the partnership with Mexico City is a multi-year deal. The expansion of the Cup Series footprint outside of the United States shows how many innovative changes have been made to the NASCAR schedule over the last couple years. The Cup Series ran 2 races in Canada in its earliest years. In 1952, an event was won by Buddy Shubin at Stanford Park in Niagara Falls, Ontario, and a 1958 race at the Canadian Exposition Stadium in Toronto, where Lee Petty won, and his son Richard made the first of his record 1,184 Cup starts. The series also held a series of exhibition races in Japan from 1996 to 1998. Kennedy said returning to the sport's top division to the global stage has long been a priority. Here's his thoughts and more. It's huge, Kennedy said. When we talk as a leadership team about where we feel like our biggest growth opportunities as a sport is, international is always one of the first things that comes up. We brought the Craftsman Truck Series to Canada for a number of years. We've had the Xfinity Series in Mexico. This is a monumental moment for our sport, in a sense that this is our first step of really taking the Cup Series internationally. And I think it could set us up for the future in potential new markets. I think we've been honest about our interest in taking our Cup Series abroad, whether that's north of the border or south of the border. And then as we talk about some of our other races, there are opportunities for us to take the Cup Series even further than that. So it's going to be a big project for us. There's a lot of questions that we have. I'm sure that the industry will have some questions as well, but excited to take this on and to go to one of the biggest markets, not just in the country, but in the world, is going to be huge for our sport. The Mexico City track has both oval and road course configurations. It has hosted a number of series since it opened in 1959. The track was named in honor of racing brothers Ricardo and Pedro Rodriguez not long after it opened. It was remodeled in 2015 and has hosted 8 Formula One Grand Prix since then. NASCAR used a 2.518-mile layout during Xfinity Series races from 2005 to 2008, which was shorter than the full 2.674-mile 17-turn road course. Kennedy said the race lanes for both the Cup and Xfinity Series races were in development. Kennedy said NASCAR will partner with OCESA, which promotes the Mexico City Grand Prix for Formula One, and has organized other large-scale entertainment events in the country. Here's Alejandro Soberón, who is the founder and CEO of OCESA, talking about the Cup Series coming to Mexico City and more. At OCESA, we are dedicated to entertaining people, and this has positioned us as the most powerful live events platform in Mexico and Latin America, as well as one of the most important globally, said Soberón. The arrival of the NASCAR Cup Series to our country reflects the significant growth that motorsports has experienced in Mexico, an achievement in which Escuderia Telmex has played a major role by promoting the NASCAR Mexico Series and supporting drivers like Daniel Suarez. Kennedy also confirmed that Richmond Raceway will lose one of its 2 annual dates in order to make way for the Mexico City race in 2025. Here's his thoughts on that move and more. We're still committed to Richmond, Kennedy said. It's an important track, an important market certainly, as we think about where our NASCAR fans are today. We've seen some exciting storylines certainly coming out of that track over the past few years, and excited to continue to be there next year, put on a great event for our fans, and put a lot of that energy and resources into that event. With the addition of Mexico City to the 2025 schedule, the series has now added new venues to the schedule for 5 straight years. Now, Kennedy says with the planning for logistics, transportation, and setup, because with on-the-ground support for an event that's less than a year away. Here's more from Kennedy. I'm certain that this is also just the start of it, Kennedy said. We have 10 months of planning ahead of us and a lot of opportunities to have announcements leading into this event. So excited to continue to drive that energy to June of next year. This is amazing that the Cup Series will be racing in Mexico City. Even though it had been rumored for a while that the Cup Series will be going to Mexico City or Montreal, this has already been announced, I still wanted to talk about it because of how significant it is of the Cup Series going to Mexico City as well. So I never would have known that the Cup Series hadn't raced internationally before in a points pay race had it not been for what I saw on NASCAR.com while looking up for this video when they raced in Canada in the 50s. So definitely pretty cool that they're going to race in Mexico City, especially. It's going to be exciting, especially seeing something historic like this because of the fact that the Cup Series had raced internationally so long, especially in the modern era, having never done it, especially in a place like Mexico as well. That'd be more exciting there than what it was for Forza Horizon 5, even though Forza Horizon 5 is a video game. But I'm excited for the Cup Series to race there, especially because of the fact that it's such a big deal for the sport to be able to race new markets and for NASCAR to be known more as an international brand instead of a local brand or an American brand or regional brand. So that's good for the sport there, especially to be able to try to bring new fans as well, to be able to have that, especially in Mexico, reach a new market and all that. So definitely that's going to be exciting. What does hurt the fact is that it's going to be on Amazon Prime Video, which sucks because of the fact that it's such an inaugural race. It's such a big deal for the sport to be able to race there in Mexico City. And for the fact that they lock it on that streaming service sucks, even though the Xfinity Series will be on the CW. But I'm still hopeful to find a way to watch the Cup Series somehow because of the fact it's such a big deal. Like I said, inaugural race. So it sucks that it's like that, but it is what it is. But it's going to be exciting, especially for the fans, especially for Daniel Suarez. He's got that race circled on his calendar for sure to be able to try to win that, especially to be able to win in front of his home country and all that, and his whole fans. So definitely that's going to be exciting, especially how they've had races there before, especially with the Xfinity Series. So it's cool that the Xfinity Series is going to join them because of the fact that they've had history at that track, especially racing there from 2005 to 2008, what it was a nationwide series and Busch series before, like I said. So definitely that's going to be exciting there as well. And it could bring more Mexican drivers into the field as well, especially when they've had it before there, especially with AJ Fernandez and Michelle Jourdain Jr. as well. So hopefully more Mexican drivers will join. That way the fans can have other drivers to root for besides Suarez if they wanted to. You know, Suarez is the best one out of all of them since he's in the Cup Series. So, but yeah, that would be pretty cool there, especially. And also to be able to have sponsors come back as well, like local Mexican sponsors to be a part of it with Telcel and Juniper as well. And hopefully as well, like Corona be a part of it as well. So that would be pretty amazing there also to be able to have that, just to have more of that local feel. And I would be surprised, especially to see like those drivers and those sponsors be there because of the fact that it's such a big deal to be able to race in NASCAR at that track. So that would be pretty cool, especially. So definitely going to be excited for the Cup Series in 2025 with this and the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. So definitely it's pretty cool like for NASCAR to do this and change it up. So shout out to NASCAR and Ben Kennedy for making all of this happen. And hopefully they continue to make changes like that to be able to make it fresh and all that, especially. And like we're trying like Mexico to be able to hopefully stay on the Cup Series for a long time because of the fact that it'll be an exciting race and all that, especially on the road course. So definitely will be something interesting to see how the next gen car looks on there, especially because I've never seen what it would look like with that car. So especially since the only cars that have been there have been the Xfinity Series, when it was the Busch Series and Nationwide Series, like I said. So definitely will be pretty excited to see how it all plays out. So and I expect it to be a great show and I expect it to have a lot of fans and be sold out. So definitely it's going to be pretty awesome like and popular as well. So definitely that'll be pretty credible there. So good luck to everybody, like I said, and it'll be fun. So plus I'm sure it'll get talked about as well over there in Mexico on local news, as well as all Hispanic like stations, I'm sure. And plus it's a big deal for like NASCAR and for Mexico and for the Hispanic community as well to have like a race like that over there. So yeah, that'll be cool. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. If you are brand new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.